Welcome back to the Little Black Shade Tree. I'm Shelly and today we're talking about homeschooling. It's kind of a hot topic right now because a lot of kids are having to stay home from school and the parents are going, what now? So we have actually been homeschooling for 2 years now and we absolutely love it. And I wanted to let you know how it works to help you at home, whether or not this is a temporary thing until the schools are back up and running, or if this is more a permanent thing because you love it. So our kids, they went to a great school with great teachers and we absolutely adored them. So our problem was not their education at the school. The biggest problem that we had, that I certainly had, was the time that they were spending there. So here in Georgia, our kids were 4 and 6 years old at the time and they were required to be there for at least 6 hours a day. So 6 hours a day, plus it was over an hour bus ride each way. And so they had to be at school. Let's see, they were gone. We didn't do the bus. I had to drive them every single time. But for those that were riding the bus, it was like a 5:45 a.m. pickup. Something crazy. I can't remember quite what it was. And then in order to get home, our girls did take the bus home quite often and they weren't home until just before 5 o'clock. And so once they got home, after being gone all day, they had at least an hour's worth of homework, and then we had dinner, and then they had to go straight to bed. So there was no time to play, no time to be a family, no time to go outside and be a kid. And that was really, really important to me because I didn't feel like a mom anymore. How could I be a mom when I never saw my kids? They were never here. And when they're so little, I think that it's important for parents to be more involved in their lives, whether it's teaching them or just spending time with them. And I wanted them to be able to play more. And Fred Rogers was the one who said, play is the real work of childhood, and I absolutely believe that. Kids need to be able to play, they need to be able to explore, and certainly need to go outside and play. I think it's really, really healthy for them. Learning how to create their own fun is so important in this world, and it is something that kids and adults nowadays just don't have enough of. So I wanted to try to help my kids be more creative and learn to create and have fun on their own. So we let our girls' teachers know that we were going to pull our kids from school, and we let the school know, but we thanked them and told them how much we appreciated them and how this had nothing to do with them. We just wanted to be able to homeschool. So we maintained such a great relationship with them, and even one of our girls' teachers continued to invite her to school parties and activities, which made the world to us. It was so sweet of her to go out of her way to do that. So I was very, very grateful. So the first year that we homeschooled, I took the lead of my mother-in-law. She's very experienced in homeschooling. She homeschooled all her kids, and so I took her lead since I didn't know what I was talking about. And she helped to set us up. So the way she did it was she taught them herself. She collected the textbooks and taught all 4 of her children herself. And so I attempted that with my 2 oldest because my little one was, little. And I wasn't very good at it. Let's just say that. I'm not a super organized person, and that seemed to really take a really organized person, and I was really struggling to keep it all together. And I think the teaching was okay, but the organization, and I really struggled knowing whether or not my kids were learning what they were supposed to be learning. I really had a hard time, even today in the age of the internet, and all these other books that I was getting of what your kid needs to know in each grade, I was still really struggling to know if they were learning everything that they needed to learn. So I kind of needed some help in that. So after a year, we switched. And so in the second year, we switched to online school. And that has been amazing for us. I love it. My kids love it. Everybody loves it. So the school that we use, it's called Power Homeschool through Acellus, and Acellus is, apparently it was created by a private school for homeschoolers. It's a homeschool program created by a private school, and it's fantastic. So the girls, they do it either on their computer or a tablet. So if they have their tablet, they can actually go outside and do homework outside or in their comfy chair, and they absolutely love it. So the nice part, actually there are many nice things about this online program or any online program, is my girls can learn things that I can't teach them. Like my oldest is in a French class. She's almost done with it and she's been doing amazing because I took French in high school, but it's not like I remember any of it. And both my girls are also taking coding, which is not something that I can teach them. Acelis is from kindergarten through high school, so once they're subscribing, that they have access to all the classes, and that also gives me access to the classes. So if I want to take French, I can take French. And they even have a high school class on HVAC systems, so I could actually learn how to do HVAC systems. What? That could save us a lot of money. And this program is actually really inexpensive. I'm not really sure about the other online programs. I think they're all around the same ballpark. Most of them anyway, but ours, Acelis, is only $25 a month per kid. So it's really affordable and it gives us access to keep track of the hours that they're spending in school and keep track of all their grades and be able to see all the things that they're doing. Anyway, this program has been awesome and we really love it. So since we do an online program, that means that I am now the facilitator and not the full-time teacher, which is awesome because it still gives me lots of time to get things done around the house that I need to get done, and it doesn't completely take up my day, which is really, really nice, and I know quite a lifesaver for a lot of moms out there. But I love it. Now, a great part about that is since I'm not the full-time teacher, it means I can supplement what I want to supplement. So my girls and I do lots of science projects and science experiments, and we go out and we explore the forest and look at things under microscopes. We made a fun video on how to find tardigrades. Oh my goodness, that was such a blast. It was awesome. So check out that video if you want to see it. We also made a bug collection and put them in resin. That was really fun. We also made a video on that. And another huge benefit to homeschooling is the field trips. Now I know lots of schools do lots of field trips, but it's so much fun to just get up and go wherever it is that inspires you and your kids. Like one time I took my kids to the CDC museum in Atlanta. Oh, that was so fun, and I know that it's geared towards middle school kids and high school kids, so I had to explain some of it sometimes to my kids, but oh, that was the best. And we even got a deep search on our van. I guess it was a bomb search, I think. We had a lot of security protocols to go through to get into that museum, and it just made the experience that much better. But we also get up and go to other museums like natural history museums and aerospace museums and see all the planes. We got to go to a really fun living history night at a big Air Force museum, and we got to speak to a veteran and he shared his experiences in Vietnam, and we got to see the actual plane that he flew in. That was really amazing. So the field trips are completely unlimited. It is really fun to just get up and go where you want to go, see a planetarium, go see the zoo, do anything that you want to, and you can pair it with things that you're learning in school, which is really, really helpful. Another great thing that we love about doing homeschool is it gives us a chance to be more efficient with our school, and you'll find that anytime your kids have to do online stuff as well, is we no longer have to take 6 hours out of our day to do school, because my kids can do school in 3 to 4 hours. Because remember, when you're in a big classroom, you have one teacher to sometimes 33 students, and now my kids have one teacher for 2 of them. And they have their own teachers in each one of their classes online, but they also have me, so I can help them when they need it without having to compete with 32 other kids in the class. They can also go as slow or as fast as they need to, because in a traditional classroom, the class is oftentimes held up to the speed of the kid who needs the most help at the moment, and my kids are the students, so I can go as fast or as slow as they need to. They can go as fast or as slow as they need to. So my kids, sometimes they speed right through a class because they just get it. And they don't have to waste their time on it for long periods of time, and they can just go through and move on. And then sometimes it just takes some more time for them to get it. So we hold back a little bit, practice, practice, practice until we get there, and then they start motoring around. So with all this efficiency, that leaves time for fun. fun. So they actually get to play. They get to play with each other. They get to play outside. We get to go on play dates with other kids. We get to go on more field trips, do science experiments. It is so important to me that they get time to play outside, and it's just good for their health to run and play. And it's more than just recess, because they need more than 30 minutes of recess. They need time to get out there and run and play and create. Now, with more and more families doing homeschool comes homeschool groups, and there have always been homeschool groups, but now they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Actually, we went to the pediatrician for a wellness checkup, and the pediatrician, we told them that we had just pulled our kids out of school and started homeschooling, and they said, "Oh my goodness, you are the third family today that told us you are starting to homeschool." And that wasn't in the virus, that was 2 years ago. So we are a part of 3 homeschool groups, and the biggest one I believe is about 50 families. So there are plenty of kids and families for us to play with and go on field trips with. We go on field trips together to the Air Force Museum, and we have all the things that we can't really do at home, like have Valentine's parties, Christmas parties, start of the school year party, end of the school year party. We can have all those with our homeschool groups. We can all meet up at the skating rink. We can go to somebody's pool. There's dances. So for those of you who are not under quarantine or for the time periods when we are all not under quarantine, you can get together with your homeschool groups. They're easy to find. Just search on Facebook. They're there. So here's some tips on homeschooling. Number 1. Keep a schedule, keep a routine. Now, I'm kind of a free bird. I like to wake up and just do whatever it is I feel like. It's going to be on my to-do list. I like having my to-do list and getting it done, but I like doing whatever it is I want when I want it. And that doesn't really work for kids as much. Kids do really, really well with structure, and so try to keep that structure. Don't let them sleep in till all hours of the day. Get them up, get them dressed, and the first part of the morning is really productive and they can focus. So we like to do homework then, and then we have a bit of a break. They can have recess, go play, and then come back and finish school. So the afternoon is a great time to play. The morning is a great time for school. Also, go out and do stuff that you haven't been able to while they were in public or private school. Do stuff with them. It doesn't have to be in public spaces. If this is still under, advisory to stay away from people, then go do something at the park or at a natural forest, or go fishing, or do things that you didn't have time to do while they were in school. However, if you're not under any kind of isolation advisory, then go do something fun, go do something crazy, go see a movie, buy some popcorn, or go do something extra fun and go to a museum, natural history museum, arts and sciences museum, planetarium, whatever it is, or even like our beloved CDC museum, which I know that was kind of for me because I love that stuff, but I still drug my kids along and they had a good time and they learned something. So anyway, go do something fun that you didn't have time to before then. Find some fun place to go where they can learn or just be a family. Also, make sure that you're teaching them that school is still really important. Sometimes it's hard for kids to want to do school when they're home and they want to play with their toys or go outside. So make sure you have a special section of your home, a drawer, whatever it is, where their homework goes and nothing else goes in it. Not Legos, not coloring books, none of that, just homework. So keep their homework separate from everything else, keep it in a safe place, and teach them to keep it in a safe place. So just like if they were public or private school taught, homework is important and they need to keep track of their school stuff. And my last big tip is nobody is perfect. Absolutely nobody is perfect. I'm still trying to figure this out. I think we've come a long way and we are really, really happy, but nobody is perfect. And a big hang up that I had before we started homeschooling is I just didn't think that I would be enough to do it. I didn't think I was enough to teach them, and I think that that is really, really common, and it's so not true. And I know that I wasn't super organized. I know I struggled to teach them all everything myself, but we just switched programs and now it just works so well for all of us. So nobody is perfect, and there are a million different ways to do it. So find what works for you. Try to keep a structure and just be patient with yourself. Trust me, your kids are doing good and they're gonna get a top-notch education. Just keep with it. So to wrap this up, I just wanted to let you know that homeschooling can be really, really fun, whether you're in it involuntarily or because you're looking into it because it might be a good thing for your family. So there are lots and lots of different ways to homeschool, everything from just the textbooks to online to you do it to someone else does it. My girls even love, one of her teachers has a bunny in her class. They love having class pets, even though it's digital, they still love having the class pets. And so anyway, there are lots of different ways to do it, but this is the way we do it and we absolutely love it. So homeschooling can be a huge blessing, so enjoy it while you have it, or continue if you still want to later on, because it is an absolute blast and it has been really beneficial for my kids and I. They're getting a real one-on-one, hands-on, customized education with lots of different options while also having time to play, to get outside, to create, to go to lots of different field trips. And let's be honest, we don't get sick that much anymore. I can't remember the last time we all had the flu. And that is a major blessing, because before we were getting sick all the time. I would go to class parties and I would see the little kids, you know, sharing serving spoons, and they would lick it and then stick it back in the serving, you know, frosting or whatever it was. So it's no wonder everybody's getting sick when their kids are licking serving spoons, which I totally get because I know my kids do it too. But anyway, it's really great not to be sick. So anyway, I won't take up any more of your time, but thanks for listening. Thanks for getting back with the little black shade tree. I'm Shelly, and I will see you in the next video.